All right, here I want to talk about what does selling your soul or somebody being soulless means. Because we talk about soulless people outside of you. I've heard this from a few spiritual teachers online. Okay, and for one of the main things that I'm coming to a conclusion on is that I doubt that they even truly deeply understand what a soul is, or how to differentiate the difference between a soul and a spirit. All right, and when you look at a soulless person, everybody is basically in a soulless state. If you don't have a sense of awareness of self, or a lack of understanding of self, or an understanding, how we would want to use this language, then you're basically soulless. See, there's a lot of people that live for others outside of themselves and want to basically hold expectation from others, or let's say they want validation from others. This is basically seeking things outside of themselves, all right, to basically seek some type of fulfillment within them. That's basically a sign of soullessness. And in actuality, it's also a form of you selling your soul outside of yourself, because you're not aware of your own soul or your own individuality. Okay, your spirit outside of you is basically what the manifestation of what your soul basically is. So you're basically seeing yourself in actuality. When you look at the world outside of you, you're looking at the conditions of your soul. All right, a lot of people talk about, that person has a good soul, and when somebody outside of you is saying that, all right, these are basically like blood cells in your body actually being in harmony with the frequency and tune of your own individual nature, your animalistic nature. Okay, so when you have, let's say, for example, your spirit is your space outside of you. Whatever you're observing and collapsing into existence is your spirit. It's a manifestation of what you have as your soul, your individual spirit. That's why it's a soul. All right, it's your individual spirit. It's like a drop out of the ocean, but you're observing it in real time. But when you don't have an awareness of self, you're going to start judging, pointing fingers and whatnot. That's you being outside of your space, a space cadet. This is a projection of the heart, and it's in a coherence or a synchronization with the entire body. All the brains are manifested into one. So all the people you see outside of you, all the different races, are different alien races. Your body is like a spaceship. You're like a big vessel, and you can channel basically any energy or be in any state you want. But when you're outside of yourself being a space cadet, this is where certain energies inhabit your body, and you're basically not even aware of what's inhabiting your body. So you're channeling energy all the time. Okay, and when you channel this energy, are you aware of the state and spirit, and the individuality of what you are at that current state? Okay, so the whole thing about what is in your space all determines by awareness. So let's say, for example, you know how your brain works. You have your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind can't really determine what comes in and out. It's just going to record. Your conscious mind determines what goes in and out. This is like the masculine side of your brain. The subconscious will be the feminine side. All right, it's like the container. So you impress upon the subconscious mind. That's why, as a man, you try to impress a female to try to get her to talk to you or like you, right? It's the same way. So your mind is basically, your brain is the conscious mind that allows things in and out. Okay, so your body, in actuality, okay, when you're not aware, or you're not in your masculine energy, okay, and this is regardless if it's man or woman, the masculine energy determines what comes in and out. It's more or less like the gatekeeper. It determines what allows into the space, because it's all you. You're using everything as tools. But if you're not aware, these tools can be used against you. And that's you being outside of, this is why they talk about being born again of the Father. When I mentioned in the previous video how your body can't tell the difference between a real or a fake experience, because your body's the mind, okay? But the awareness, that whole consciousness, that's the masculine energy. This is why I said that a man has more of an ability to determine what a real or a fake experience is. That's why they say the masculine energy has guidance over the feminine energy, okay? Because the feminine energy is the darkness. They're in the dark, So you are the masculine energy. You shed light on things. You're a light being. But in actuality, you're looking at it as man and woman between genders. Okay? A woman is still a light being. She's still, the body is the manifestation of the masculine energy, even though it's expressed in a feminine energy. That's why you look at that person as a woman. Okay? Now, you could look at it from many different layers. You could look at it from black people and white people. Black people are black. They're the manifestation of a feminine energy. Even though it's a black man, it's still an expression of the feminine energy. Okay? This is why you look at, for example, when you look at different groups and how this is a whole patriarchal system and how it's all set up. Okay? The sun has guidance over the feminine energy, the chaotic feminine energy of the planet Earth, which is a feminine energy. Even though you collapse it into existence, there's light here because of the sun. It's shedding light on a dark planet. Without the sun, the planet would be dark. So the man, or the masculine energy of the sun, is shedding light on this dark planet. You're in darkness now, right? But the sun is a manifestation of you. Everything you're looking at outside of you is you. Okay? We talk about racism and whatnot. How come we say we can talk about one thing over another in a positive or a negative way, which is also masculine and feminine expression, because positive is a masculine expression, but there's a positive expression that could be detrimental or beneficial. So when you're in a positive expression, it's also an acidic, inflammatory expression. But if it's in a favorable way, you can build off of that positive energy, right? Because positivity, that's where you get the building blocks of life. Amino acids, right? They're the building blocks of life. But if you have a weak foundation, those acids are actually, you're gonna collapse. All right, you'll actually collapse under pressure. Okay, because actually you don't have your feminine energy intact. But a man's virtue is to have control of his emotions, which is feminine. So if you don't have a proper grasp on your feminine energy, then you let these emotions take over you. You have a weak foundation. That's why if you feel a certain way, you can express it. Even if it's anger, whatever it is, rage or whatnot. If you got to punch somebody in the face, then you could do that. I mean, everything's allowed. Is it beneficial at the end of the day? Well, that determines on the certain scenario or experience. If you are experiencing a family member of yours that's about to get, into some type of problem with somebody else, or let's say somebody's about to rape your wife, what the fuck are you gonna do? Are you gonna namaste your way out of it or pray your way out of it? No, you're gonna go fuck that nigga up. Okay? And that's a way of using a masculine warlike energy in a scenario it's called for. But now you have to understand, we're under a realm where it's designed under man-made laws. So now certain specificities now have to be addressed, because you could even be at fault for doing something that you were doing as far as self-defense, where I'm looking at certain laws where even though you're defending somebody in your house and you shoot somebody, you may still be liable. I heard somewhere along the lines how this can actually be turned against you. But I got to do a little more research into that. It just popped into mind now for me to talk about it. So it's not a hierarchy over man and woman, because in totality, humanity is feminine energy. And the key to you, either a man or a woman, black, white, Chinese, Indigo, Mexican, whatever it may be, okay, is to overcome humanity. Humanity is the feminine energy. This is why they talk about you getting into overcoming humanity, overcoming the woman, okay, or overcoming the feminine energy, is being born again of the Father. You are now the light, the true light being of the planet. So a man is basically the true light being, and he has dominion or guidance over the feminine energy. But in actuality, if a woman is well balanced, okay, she's got more of strength over the expression of what a man here is in the metaphysical realm. Okay, that's why they're physically weaker than men, okay, and a man is physically stronger, okay, but where you're lacking in one, you compensate in others. So in the metaphysical realm, a woman has the ability to be stronger, and in the physical realm, men tend to have a little bit of a lack in the metaphysical side of things as much as a woman has those capabilities. But not to say a man can be as powerful as a woman in the metaphysical realm, because every man has a woman in them and every woman has a man in her. Okay? Just in physicality, it's going to be imbalanced. Okay? But when you look at it from this spectrum of things, okay, the whole patriarchal system is because of the way we're observing things into existence. So that's why, for example, if a man goes out, let's say, how do you put it? All right, so let's look at it from a black man perspective. A black man and a white man. A black man could be in the sun a lot longer than a white person before the white person actually ends up burning under the sun. But the white person doesn't have to be in the sun as long as the black person for that person to synthesize, for the white person to synthesize D3 to enhance, or let's say produce better hormone levels. Okay? Because black people are known to have better hormone levels than white people, and this is just based on science, this is not my opinion, but it's only because they're able to withstand the sun a lot longer. You get what I'm saying? But they have a harder time synthesizing the D3, you know? But then look at it this way. They have a stronger testosterone level, all right? But they're still considered a minority over the white person here in this realm. You see what I'm saying? So the same way a woman, all right, and a man are imbalanced in physicality, all right? But in the metaphysical realms, they have the same possibilities. The black man has the same possibilities as the white person, but they position themselves in that way because that's just how the system is set up as far as a patriarchal system. Because black people are an expression of feminine energy. That's why they're considered minorities. That's why they are the ones that are complaining for equal rights, and they're complaining against the white man for racism, and they're complaining against, you know, like let's say even they're complaining for the shit that they talk about they want to do in college is I forgot what the fucking shit they complain, like, you know, in schools they actually ask for equality of some kind. It's just like you see women are fighting for equal rights. They want to be like the man, but they'll never be like the man, you know? But it's not to say that the man is better than the woman. It's just play your role, play your part here as the energy expression that you're designed to express yourself as. Look at, for example, I see guys like Jesse Lee Peterson saying that a woman is only good to hold a baby and just actually just a container, that the baby really is the man's baby. And when you look at this, for example, ideas are created, okay? And when you get emotionally involved with it, it's you kind of like putting it in a container of the feminine energy, okay? And that's how you manifest things into reality. But when something's a bad idea, you can actually change that and discard it, right? But we're bound under man-made morality laws that say that when a woman is pregnant, she's supposed to have the baby, even if it was a rapist that gave her that baby. You get what I'm saying? This is how the whole shit is fucked up. So the woman, in actuality, if you really want to look at it from that perspective, they're putting the woman as the woman ain't shit. That the woman is forced to have a baby, even though it's the rapist's baby, because the rapist is a man. Like, it's still a bad idea. There was no harmony as far as how, because you see, everybody's creating here in this reality unaware, right? Let's say, for example, you have a certain mentality, you're an empty vessel, and then all of a sudden you get inhabited by certain energies. It's a form of you being raped the same way. Are you subjected? What happens if you become aware that you are channeling some fucked up energy, right? And you potentially are manifesting something into your reality that's not serving you. You have the ability to discard it. That's you having the dominion over the planet, that you have the masculine energy intact. But this comes down to you knowing yourself. So the same way, when you create a baby and you're doing it in harmony, depending on what's in the mentality of the man and woman, that's the baby that's coming into this existence. That baby can destroy your life or be a harmonious chemistry for the planet. It could even be the next big thing in this world. But you have the ability to change that. You get what I'm saying? You have the ability to change that. There's this whole man-made morality law. What's moral to one is not moral to somebody else. So if a woman, okay, decides to not want to have that baby, okay, yeah, it should be talked about between the man and the woman. But if it's under certain circumstances where she got raped, why the fuck does she have to carry that baby? And it's her body at the end of the day. She's she's here expressing herself a certain way, but she would have to actually embody that masculine. She has that masculine energy in her. A woman has testosterone just like any other woman. The women have testosterone, they just have more estrogen. A man also has higher testosterone levels, but they still have a certain amount of estrogen. So everything has to be a balance to some extent, but it's all going to come down to discernment, consciousness, and awareness, and being aware of what you're actually projecting from the heart space in your reality. The people, places, and things, everything that you're looking at, you're creating it, whether you know it or not. Even the people that trigger you, they're showing you what you actually are. I mean, when you look at the whole alien invasion thing, you could look at it like this. You notice how when they say that aliens took you into the spaceship and probed you and whatnot? I mean, it always comes down to probing you, but from what area? From your lower root animalistic centers, right? In actuality, all these things that you do, let's say, for example, procreate with another person, it's all animalistic. But the animalistic side of things is the animals you're observing in reality, in your existence. Right? It doesn't matter what animals they are. They're all a manifestation of what is already in you. And you can learn from each one of these animals and their behaviors and how they interact with others. It's exactly how humans interact with each other, but on a higher evolutionary scale. Yet you don't know what you do. This is why I made the example with certain vegans, where they start to talk about infringing on the right of animals and, you know, doing certain things as far as like what we would say, we're killing, slaughtering, torturing, and murdering animals, right? And yet we're not paying for it though, right? I mean, we're actually, even though we're not physically doing it, that we're really doing it because we're going to supermarkets paying for it. It's the same thing that vegans do when they go out and want to debate, when they go out and want to invade businesses. Because if you really look at it from a higher evolutionary scale, right? The system wasn't designed by them, but they're using the system to do exactly what they're pointing the finger at. Going and killing, slaughtering, and infringing on the right of others. Because if somebody eats meat, that's their problem. But on top of that, here's the thing though. Aside from the whole morality thing, when they go on debates, their intention is to smash and kill their opponent. That's why after a debate, when they win, they're like, yo, you killed it, bro. You killed it. You smashed that person, and then they judge the person. They shame the person, right? Exactly what they say in the Bible not to do, right? Do unto others as you will want done unto you. Except we do it, and that's why I said what you attract is never always going to be a direct mirror. All right? But it could be an indirect mirror. Synchronicities are always happening to people. See, if you're in a mentality always of, I want to debate, I want to get my point across because it stimulates you. It's something that your ego loves to do because it feels fucking great that it's using the intellect to be able to smash others. It's not to say that you're going to always attract another debater that's going to smash you. But you may attract certain things in life that'll put you in a position where you're going to have to actually defend yourself. For example, because you're always in that state to want to do that, you may attract something in life that'll put you in a position that you have to go to court and defend yourself. And now it's a real scenario where if you lose, you may lose your property, you may lose your freedom to some extent, you may lose a lot of things. But this is all coming down to being aware of what you're putting out. So you're always planting seeds and you get back what you plant, whether you're aware of it or not. And if you're just throwing seeds, you're going to get fucking scattered, chaotic shit. All right. And some things, be aware, don't go well with other things. That's why we call them companion planting. So when you're planting seeds and you know how to plant something else that can go and help that thrive together, there's no illusion of competition there. Everything's working in harmony. Synchronicities start to happen in a harmonious way because harmony only starts with hormones from your endocrine system. All right. Your endocrine system being in proper harmony, you're a proper functioning energy expression of what you're supposed to be, either a man or a woman. When your hormones are imbalanced, how do you feel? Bitchy, like a bitch. When you have low testosterone, your dick doesn't work, you can't sleep good, your brain don't work, everything's all fucked up. Even your spirituality's fucked up. For women, same shit. They even retain more water, they feel moody, midlife crisis start to happen. It don't matter how old you are. It's how the ability you have to recover is dependent on the things that you're doing to yourself that allow you to recover. But you do things that get in the way, like take medications and take information that's all corrupt, that changes the body's natural chemistry, restructures and reorganizes your microbiome, and then your aura changes because your aura is the bacterial cloud. And your bacterial cloud even emits a certain color. But people think an aura is just like an aura, like a light aura. No, it's bacteria, it's viruses that are literally surrounding your cloud, your body. And the whole thing about, let's say it doesn't matter what color it is. Say it's a red that you're emitting. Some people be like, oh, that person's in their root chakra. They're all animalistic and whatnot. Yeah, but a red color could be cloudy or it could be very clear. See, here's the thing. When it's very clear, you can look at it like a clear water. It doesn't matter. They're in that space, but it's clear. It's not cloudy or murky. It doesn't matter what. You could emit a purple one and it could be cloudy. It could be a blue one or whatever. It could be cloudy. If you're emitting a clear aura, regardless of where it is, if it's clear and in harmony in one, you'll emit a golden aura or a white aura. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to be clear. That's the whole thing. Now, the whole man and woman thing, humanity is feminine. The one individual man is masculine. It's kind of like your fingers. La mano. This whole thing is feminine, but the one individual fingers the hand is feminine, la mano, and the fingers are masculine. That's why they say la mano, el dedo, or los dedos. You see what I'm saying? So you as a man is el hombre, or la clase de hombre, right? Mankind. That's why women are a kind of man. La humanidad, la clase de hombre is a type of man. El hombre is masculine. So as an individual, if you're not utilizing this, masculine energy properly, then you're a fucking female. You're a fucking female. And the whole thing is, a lot of men claim to be men online. Okay? But you could tell that they're clear bitches. All they do is complain. They point the finger, blame women. The woman is like that because of you. Or because here's the thing though. There's a lot of men who say there's no good women on the planet anymore. It's because of where you're at. Because somebody else may say there's a lot of good women on the planet. See, you got to look at yourself like an alien, and you're here observing reality. Like you're inhabiting a planet. Okay? A planet. So let's say, for example, you live on Earth and this is physically possible. If you leave planet Earth and you're able to leave the planet and go to Mars, people would say that's an alien planet, but that planet that you're inhabiting is just another version of the planet that you're in. It's still you. Only that's not possible physically, but they make you think everything's physical. When in actuality, for you to visit Mars, Pluto, any of these planets that we know of, it has